Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Friday. Means brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. We got plenty to get to. Preston Guy in 15 minutes. NFL playoffs and a loaded NFL weekend. Absolutely. Transfer portal is popping, as you know. We'll talk a little bit of Saints, LSU basketball tomorrow at Vanderbilt. I don't think that's going to go super awesome. But last night's Fiesta Bowl went super awesome. Ha ha! I get to watch tonight in peace, and I can watch next week in complete peace after Ole Miss pieced out of the college football playoff. That's where we're going to start with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
That's my exhale. I'm not too proud to admit it. Not too proud to admit it at all. I ran around my kitchen island last night when that game ended.
Really?
I ran around.
Well,
my whole house was asleep. Kat thought I was a lunatic. Might have been. But when Carson Beck ran into the end zone, I popped up off the couch and ran around the kitchen island.
I'll do you one better. I had, when he ran to the end zone, I hit a whole, let's go!
See, that's not allowed in my house with a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old.
Yeah.
But I was excited. Poured a cocktail after that one. Wasn't even planning on it. The old Thursday cocktail. Had to happen. I just, as I've said time and time again, this is purely personal in my perspective, I'm an elitist. It's snobby. It's snooty. It's unbecoming. It's all of those things. It's arrogant. It's egotistical. But I'm it. I'm in the club. I got Bama over here. I got Ohio State over here. Clemson's hanging out. There's Auburn. See, Michigan's right there. We're all hanging out in this club. We win titles. We play for titles. That's what we've done over the last 25 years. I don't have any interest in anybody else coming in the club from the SEC. Indiana wants to come on in. Oregon wants to come in. I'm fine. I'll buy you a drink. Ole Miss, absolutely not. Texas A&M, absolutely not. And now Ole Miss, as I said it last night, Ole Miss now is back at sea level, okay? Everest is a tall, tall climb, okay? I've climbed it. It's hard. I've climbed it 3 times, personally. Not entirely true, but I was there. It's the long way up. And now you're looking all the way up at the mountain. They don't have the scuba gear on anymore. They're not submerged in the ocean trying to get up and climb Everest. I'll give them that. But they're back at sea level with Texas A&M, with LSU, and it's a long way back to the top. That's an arrogant way to look at it. It's a petty way to look at it. I'm self-aware in that way, but that's the lens with which I was watching the game last night. And I'm watching this game, and I know there's no unique take on this game. Everyone's got the same take on this game, but it doesn't make it any less true. I've never seen a team dominate a football game the way that Miami dominated for basically 3 quarters and have almost nothing to show for it. It was a bludgeoning. They were winning at the point of attack. They were dominating on the ground. I mean, they were just destroying Ole Miss. The time of possession numbers, they kept showing them on the screen. I've never seen it look like LSU against an FCS team or something. It was just complete domination. But Lacey hits the big run, and Miami kept shooting itself in the foot with stupid pre-snap penalties and bad play calls. Missed a field goal. It's long, but you missed one. And Miami, because of the way that they're built, which is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, those false starts are critical. Because, if Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson get a false start and it's 1st and 15, who cares? They're going to get 15 yards in 3 plays anyway by just chucking it around. Miami's designed to get 6 yards. So when you lose 5, it's a big deal. And it started to stall them a little bit. And it was just the stupid penalties. And then they'd get a big chunk play on the ground. Then we got to try a flea flicker. And then we get a big chunk play on the ground. And then we throw it on 2nd down and 3rd down and get sacked on back-to-back downs. No. Carson Beck is completely inaccurate. He's missing on swing passes with miscommunication. He had guys running deep that he couldn't hit. He was having a terrible game. And this is what I was sitting on the couch thinking, like, you know what? You know what one of the best foods in the world is to me? Vanilla Bluebell ice cream. It's delicious. And it's not flashy. It doesn't have all the toppings. It doesn't need all the sprinkles. I don't need to stuff Reese's in it. Just the Vanilla Bluebell is awesome. It's in my house often because I got a 5-year-old that likes, 4-year-old that likes it. And sometimes you just need to have Vanilla Bluebell. You don't need to have the Bananas Foster with all the flames and the flambe. Like, just Vanilla Bluebell. Run the ball. Run it right at him. Fletcher. And they wouldn't do it. False start. Drop back for a pass. Flea flicker. Carson Beck read option where he kept the ball. Huh? No. Don't do that. Hand it off. And Ole Miss, to their credit, just kept plugging along. And Lacey hits the big one. And then Chambliss made some plays. And then they started cooking a little bit on offense. And they really played well in the fourth quarter. Like, the fourth quarter did not look like the first 3 quarters. And that's why you had those late lead changes in the last 8 minutes. And I did not think there was any chance at all after Ole Miss went down and got that touchdown that Miami was going to be able to even get it into field goal range. And then I had no confidence that that kicker was going to make it to tie the game because of what I watched in College Station in the wind, and then he had missed one earlier. I know he's been good all season, but he had no confidence from me because the only time I cared about his performance was College Station in the Fiesta Bowl, and he stunk both times. So I did not have any confidence in Carson Beck, and he got it done. Absolutely got it done. Pete Golding's defense had been out on the field for approximately 9.5 hours, and they were just out of smoke. And Beck, it cleared out, and he made a great play. And this Tony kid, my word, reclassified, should be in high school. I'd like to see the high schoolers try to tackle him because Ole Miss sure couldn't do it. That kid is electrifying. And it's interesting to watch Miami because they're playing football like it's 1997. And it's great. They absolutely beat Texas A&M into submission. They absolutely beat Ohio State into submission. And though the scoreboard doesn't indicate it, they beat Ole Miss into submission until the very end of the game when Chambliss got going. And I kept tweeting this out. I was trying to jinx him. I think it was obvious to everyone that was reading. Like, surely Trinidad Chambliss isn't going to play a 4th straight turnover-free game. Well, he ended up doing it because Miami can't catch. The self-inflicted wounds Miami was putting together to keep Ole Miss in this game were mind-blowing. It was almost like angels in the outfield where, like, supernatural stuff is happening just to keep the angels around. Like, I'd get if a DB drops an interception, maybe a second one. But there were 4, and 2 of them were tipped balls that were, like, not even in motion. Just grab it. And they couldn't do it. And I was losing my mind. And it just felt like, and this is something I talked about on the show yesterday, and even today as I come back 24 hours later, I know it's not real. It's not a real thing. It just felt like the stars had aligned. Like, there's just no way that Miami could continue to make the mistakes they were making and to drop the interceptions and to have the offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson do something that he didn't need to do, and that Ole Miss would find a way to get that done and find a way to get that done. And then they get the tip ball. And that, by the way, I mean, that was a 3rd down. There's an in-breaking route. The Miami guy is open, and Beck delivers it. Probably going to be a 1st down, which would have been shocking because Miami didn't do anything down the field. And then the ball gets tipped in the air. And is there a Miami guy there? No, there's an Ole Miss guy staring right at it, and it comes right to him. The breaks that Ole Miss was getting time and time and time again were just remarkable. And as a person that was sitting in the Superdome for that Sugar Bowl and seeing just what a magic carpet ride it felt like for Ole Miss, it just felt the same against the Miami team. And I don't know that Ole Miss is better than Georgia. They could be. They had a 9-point lead in Athens, and they beat them in the Sugar Bowl. They could be better than Ole Miss, but I don't know that they're better. And I think Miami's better than Ole Miss, but they had a lead with 18 seconds left in the game. So it just felt crazy. And I'm hoping as I sit here, and this is Hunt LSU fans sitting here talking, like I'm hoping that's as high as Ole Miss is going to climb for a long time. We just got word 30 minutes ago that Trinidad Chambliss' waiver got denied. And it is so hard to get where they got. I mean, Ole Miss had to go through the schedule that included a trip to Athens. They had to go to Norman, Oklahoma and beat a playoff team. And then you've got to go beat Georgia. And then there's Miami. And then on the other side, there'd have been Oregon or Indiana. And it's a gauntlet to get through. And Ole Miss climbed really, really high here, higher than they have climbed in anybody's lifetime that's in this room and well beyond that. It's been 60 years since they did anything like this. And my sincere hope is that they won't anymore. And this whole LSU Ole Miss drama for now with the trading of coaches and all that kind of stuff can be put to bed. But goodness, was that a great football game. And that again furthers my point in what I talked about a week ago today in this segment, Friday, first segment. I told you that there is so much stuff in this sport that is so silly. It's absurd to watch this many people transfer and to watch the gymnastics that have to go on. The handout, ask for cash every which way is ridiculous. The window of the portal being in the middle of the teams preparing for a playoff and teams trading coaches. And it's absurd. It's patently absurd. But the product on the field, when they blow the whistle and set the ball, is awesome. And the Sugar Bowl was awesome. And the Fiesta Bowl was awesome. And tonight we'll get the Peach Bowl. And then we'll get the Orange Bowl. And I'm super pumped. I don't know how y'all feel. I am super pumped that I can watch in complete peace as Indiana and Oregon play. I don't care at all. Not one iota who wins that game. And whoever goes to play Miami in Miami, I don't care. Just let me turn it on and watch and enjoy. Couldn't do that last night. Had to grind. I don't need Ole Miss in the club. But it was awesome. Jordan, you watched it. How'd you feel?
I felt like such an emotional roller coaster, man. Honestly, like I felt that I might have needed a cigarette after the game. Like that game just took me each and every which way through it. And it really felt that Trinidad Chambliss, I know he's not from the Caribbean, but whoever his voodoo lady is or whatever, he got praying grandmothers watching over him. This man might be blessed by God himself, the way that Miami just could not figure out what a football was every time the ball touched their hands. I mean, at least 4 Miami defenders, maybe more than that, because there was one where it just got tipped around, like they played hot potato with the ball. And
the ball was motionless.
Literally.
Just someone grab it.
Somebody grab it. Nope, nobody grab it. Touch the ground again. I mean, this guy, Trinidad Chambliss, is a blessing on earth. So the fact that he got the ball back, and I just thought, I'm like, man, please, when Beck, hey, shout out to the Beck lineage. Okay, let's say that. Shout out to the Beck lineage because he did something last night. You ended a nightmare of LSU fans. This Ole Miss stuff was getting so out of hand, and that we needed Beck, who almost pulled a Trevor Lawrence and fell right there. I thought he was going to pull a Trevor Lawrence on the goal line where he fell. Well, Trevor Lawrence fell and ran it in. I thought he was going to do that, but he didn't do that. He got it in there not only for Miami, but for Louisiana, okay? That's what Beck did.
In Starkville.
Oh, yeah, Starkville, everybody. The whole SEC, honestly. That's what Beck did. He did it one time for the SEC and got Ole Miss out of here. So shout out to the Beck lineage. Shout out to Miami. They did what they had to do.
I can't believe that many Miami fans went. I told you yesterday it'd be a road game for Miami. It would just be all Ole Miss fans. Apparently, they almost had half the joint, so that's an impressive effort by them.
I know you saw Michael Irvin. I know they didn't show him on TV.
Oh, my God. He got the belt out.
Yeah, I know
he got the belt out, had the red hoodie on the trash can.
Yeah, I know you
Man
saw.
was pumped. I mean, how many of those dudes are going to be at that game in Miami?
Oh.
It's going to be all of them.
Oh.
Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis. I mean, the whole
keep
crew is going to be there.
I mean, Edgerrin
Willis
James.
McGahee.
Yeah, we're just naming Hall of Famers, by
Ed
the way.
Reed. Yeah. I mean, it'll be ridiculous. I saw it. There was a tweet yesterday. I said it yesterday on the show, the SEC Unfiltered. It's like, we're all Ole Miss fans. Like, well, not I. And I don't have to worry about it now. Rebs. Back in Oxford. Charlie Weiss, come on back to Baton Rouge. Let's go get a quarterback. All right, we'll talk to Preston Guy about all that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. New year, need a new ride? Fabry Chevrolet GMC, happy to help you out with that. Got an incredible inventory. You can check all of it out online at FabryChevrolet.com. You know the Fabry family name. They've been here 35 years, just not with the GMC Chevrolet in St. Francisville. But they started that one in October, and they'd love you to come on in. You're going to get great customer service and awesome buying experience and a wonderful inventory there at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You got Tahoes, got Silverados, got Suburbans on the Chevy side, Sierras, Yukons, Denali's, you name it, they got it at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Go see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. It's a short drive to get a fantastic automobile. You can check it all online, FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Corks. Looking for a po' boy? Swing on by. Government between Foster and Jefferson. Jumbo overstuffed shrimp po' boy, fully dressed. Got the shoestring fries. I'll help you out. Check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. Preston Guy with Tiger Baits with us on Fridays talking Tiger football. Preston, how are you?
I feel like I'm trying to drink water out of a fire hydrant right now. It's quite a bit going on.
There is. Let's just talk about quarterback first. Like, what do you think?
Well, it's kind of a mess. Seems like LSU is just, they keep on hosting these top name guys and they're trying their best as to be able to field a football team that's ready to make the playoffs this year. That's the expectation with the money that these guys have invested. But at this point, it is beginning to look like, LSU might not get a guy who is put up elite numbers already. Damon Williams, his legal situation, which I guess the good news is that at least something can go down at LSU without a bunch of legal mess. They fired Brian Kelly. There was a bunch of mess there in his buyout. You bring in Lane Kiffin, and there's a bunch of mess with how he exits Ole Miss. At least something might be clean for once. But at this point, you're looking at guys, maybe Hussein Longstreet, the 5-star recruit for USC who didn't really play much this year. At least there's some promise there. Deuce Knight is on the table, although most people are pointing him to Ole Miss, particularly with Trinidad Shameless not getting his waiver approved this morning. That's actually big news. And then you're talking about guys like Dylan Raiola or other, developmental guys. Sam Levitt is still a possibility. He's visiting Miami today. But I get the feeling that, he left LSU's campus and started talking to all the big money guys in the country, Tennessee, Miami. And, LSU wouldn't have gotten Damon Williams to try to enter the portal if they felt good about Sam Levitt, is my guess there.
How big an indictment on the staff is it that they're coming up empty, or is it just a matter of the circumstances stacked against them?
On January 9th, not that big of an indictment. If by the, let's check with me February 1st, and I'll tell you how big of an indictment is. I mean, obviously they're not going to go into the season without a single quarterback on roster. That's just nonsense.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not worried about that, but you got to have a good one. Let's talk about the guys around that quarterback, specifically up front. Seen a lot of guys leave and go to SEC schools, and LSU is looking and shopping kind of at a lower level for the offensive lineman that they've brought in. What do you think?
Yeah, they're going to have to bring in some big-name guys. They got the Alabama kid coming in, DeBose.
Yeah.
That would be a big name to bring in. A few depth. Here's the deal with almost the entire offense for LSU. You need depth and you need skill guys. Now, they've done a great job at wide receiver there, getting some both. In fact, literally, as I was on the phone here, it looks like McNeese transfer Josh Jackson committed to LSU. So you talk about depth guys. There you go. So they're doing a lot of work with that. It's just, I guess from an LSU standpoint here, the frustrating part about this portal haul is it's like the rich get richer and the poor starve, because you got things like defensive line, which has been good and did good this year. And LSU's looking like one of the best defensive lines in the country right now with what they're bringing in. But then offensive line, which was putrid, and you lost 7 guys there. You're bringing in JUCO guys and, guys from Division II schools. You just need something there. And quarterback, which was awful this year for LSU, and you have nobody on roster. It's just kind of a little frustrating right now. But, patient, don't freak out. They still have plenty of money. playing for Lane Kiffin is still appealing. Everybody just saw what they did. Basically, every quarterback Lane Kiffin has had, as an OC or, head coach at the Power 5 level has either been a Heisman contender or won a national championship. There will be someone who wants to come play.
So defensively, it appears that they've added some pretty quality pieces up front. How are you feeling about Blake Baker's defense right now?
Oh, I mean, the defense looks incredible, and the defensive backs they're adding, and they bring back Whit Weeks, which is as big as it gets in terms of returning talent. But I have look, you might have to go out there and win games 3-0 at this point. I mean, just go out there. Right now, you would field the team running the Wildcat, and you'd shut everybody out, and hopefully you can get lined up for a field goal with the kicker you got out of Arkansas.
Do you feel like the defense right now on paper looks better than the 2025 defense?
That's tough to say. Hunt, like I said, drinking through, a fire hydrant with information right now. I actually haven't gotten a chance to break up the starting 11 for that defense yet. So on the surface, the defensive line looks better, and that sounds crazy because especially the edge rushers were so good. But, I mean, you're bringing back Relaford, McKinley. You're bringing in some talented guys in the portal, not to mention 2 5-stars at the freshman level. I think up front they look better. I would want to take some time to kind of evaluate what their defensive backfield is going to look like.
The safety from Boise that comes in, Benefield, where do you think he fits in?
Yeah, he looks like a star to me. Now, I haven't interviewed Blake Baker and asked him specifically, so how do you see this guy fitting in? But he plays a lot like Jamal Adams. He's got a real nose for the ball, likes to make tackles. I think that star role is a perfect fit for him.
And that would put, obviously, Spears back there at safety as he returns, and you figure Cooley goes back as well?
Yeah, that's where I'll tentatively sit. Now, the way they're cooking in this portal, they're not afraid to go get, top-notch guys if they're there for the right money. Just because they don't have a quarterback doesn't mean they're not going to take someone else. So I don't want to – tentatively, that's where I'd sit at.
I'm a little bit surprised is probably the wrong word, but I'm paying attention to how quiet things have been in Corey Raymond's room in the transfer portal. My arrogant assumption is just that the number one transfer portal corner will get on the phone with Corey and take a visit. Do you feel they're going to add at corner? I realize they've got a strong foundation there, but do you think they'll add at corner?
Well, you got P.J. Woodland and you've got T.J. Pickett there. So, I mean, you have to feel pretty good. The thing is about this safety, having that star position, which is, kind of like a nickelback linebacker hybrid position. A lot of times you aren't using 3 corners as often as you would, say, in the past. But you definitely are going to need at least 4 corners ready to play. That's just how tackle football works. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go after guys, but I mean, Hunt, they got a lot of money, particularly tied into DJ Pickett. They feel pretty good there. And remember, we were talking about the defensive back, if he'll be as good as last year. That's one of the things. Will DJ Pickett develop and be as good as, Mansour Delane? Mansour Delane was effectively the best corner in the country and really quietly had what might be the best coverage season I've ever seen at LSU. It'll be tough to see there, but hey, if you had another Mansour Delane type guy out of the portal, you're right back where you started there, aren't you?
No question. I just kind of trust Corey Raymond to make that happen each and every year. It's been a little quiet at that spot. So we'll continue to monitor things as we move on in the transfer portal. It's not over yet. We're right in the middle of it at this point. LSU continues to add.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, just a thought on last night's game and what's to come in the college football playoff. What do you think of Ole Miss and Miami?
Well, my Twitter mentions are going to be a lot quieter because of the result, and I'm thankful for that. It's really good for my mental health and lack of cyberbullying. But, it was a great football game. It's one of the games you watch and you're like, this is why college football is so awesome, man. Miami was the much more physical team up front, but my God, none of their skill positions wanted to win the game. I mean, they dropped 4 interceptions and it really felt like Miami was going to do everything they could to screw up that game, missing a field goal, throwing an interception when you're in field goal range again. I'm like, guys, look at the score. You need these points right now. Like, they would not pull away. And, of course, lo and behold, Carson Beck with a late, last-second a touchdown to be the hero. I didn't expect it to be with his legs to win the game, but there it is, man. You got to appreciate the job Mario Cristobal's done building in the trenches at Miami in particular. But I'm still going to go with the winner of Oregon, Indiana to win it all.
All right, we shall see. We can watch in peace, and LSU staff is finally complete and anchored in Baton Rouge, so they'll push off the dock here and see what they can do the rest of this portal cycle. Preston, we appreciate the time. We'll talk next week.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
Preston Guy, TigerBait.com. I got you covered for all your transfer portal needs over there, and Preston's with us on Fridays. Friday shows brought to you by Corks. We'll come back. This is going to be an awesome weekend of NFL football. I got a thought on the games. Let's do that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com. Employment practices liability, crime coverage, cyber coverage, directors and officers policies, umbrellas. They got it all over at the Highland Insurance Group. If you are looking for a commercial insurance option, contact Jonathan Carver and the Highland Insurance Group. They will take care of you. It starts from a coverage perspective. The last thing you want to do with insurance is pay a hefty price for premium and then have a loss and not have it covered because the only thing you looked at renewal was the premium page. Premium's important. They know that at the Highland Insurance Group. They're going to take care of you there. They're an independent broker. They've got contracts with dozens of carriers. They'll make sure you're placed in the right place at the right price. But the thing that they'll do at the Highland Insurance Group is make sure that your coverage reads properly. They're experts at that. Those policies are complicated. I looked at them for 7 years. They got a lot of language in them. And every business owner doesn't know every word in those policies. The Highland Insurance Group understands how to get you covered. So no matter what line of work that you're in, no matter what your current insurance situation is, let the Highland Insurance Group take a look at it and make sure that you are covered for the right price. Jonathan Carbo and his team are right here in Baton Rouge. They're online at HighlandIG.com. It's the Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Chugging along here on this Friday, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Weekend's here. Want to play a little bit of golf. It's going to rain all day today, so the courses will probably be wet. That's not an option for you outside. Indoors is. Go by and see him. I might be going to Swing Easy Golf Club tomorrow. Might be in the works, looking to get out of the house, swing the sticks a little bit. You can do it at one of their awesome indoor simulators. I like playing Pebble Beach at Swing Easy Golf Club. It's pretty. I've played it before. It's got a little bit of nostalgic feel in that way, and you got some fun shots to hit. Short par threes. I don't want to hit 600 shots on 7 again, but 8 is an incredible hole. Pebble Beach, 17, of course, 18, the par 5. You can play some Pebble Beach. Card to score, hit chips, putts, the whole thing. Need some mulligans. They got those too. It's a great hunt. So if you're looking to play a little bit of golf, want to do it a little bit different way, go to Swing Easy Golf Club and play on their simulators. You get those individual bays. They got cold beers, got seltzers. Get a glass of wine if you want. Turn the TV on, watch some football, and hit some shots. They got music in every bay as well. So it's a great place to go hang out. It's on Segan at Perkins. Swing Easy Golf Club. You can book a tee time. SwingEasyGCBR.com. All right, we got to get to some transfer portal news coming up in the next segment to close out the hour. I want to talk LSU hoops. Also, got some things to do in hour number 2 involving Oregon and Indiana. I want to talk about that a little bit. So plenty to talk about in the next 90 minutes before we leave you for the weekend. But right now, I don't know that I've paid a lot of attention to the National Football League this week because the portal has just been consuming my entire life. This slate is awesome. Let's do it. Saturday, 3:30 on Fox in the National Football Conference. It'll be the 5 seed Los Angeles Rams at the 4 seed Carolina Panthers. It's a 10.5 point number in a game that was already played this year, and the other team won. But nobody thinks Carolina's very good. Devontae Adams is expected to be back from that hamstring injury. The Panthers beat the Rams, and in that game, they had 40 carries for 164 yards. Last week against Tampa, they ran for 19. Not great. I like to flip it there. Everybody's talking about run the ball Panthers, run the ball Panthers, run the ball Panthers. What about the Rams? The Rams are second in the NFL in run block win rate, according to ESPN.com. The Panthers are dead last in run stop rate. Just another black eye on the NFC South. The team that won your division is the worst run-stopping team in the NFL. I think the Rams are going to hand it off and hand it off and hand it off. Stafford's been playing as good as any quarterback in the league. I'd lay the 10.5, quite frankly. I think the Rams are going to smash the Panthers, who I think are not good at all. All right, 7 o'clock on Saturday night, Packers at the Bears. This is the meme that everybody wants to use, cinema. This is cinema. These two teams despise each other. As I say all the time, like I'm in the middle of it a little bit. I'm kind of removed, but the Cubs made a big trade this week, so I was watching. But the Bears are consuming that talent right now, and if they lose this game, it is going to be a gut punch to the Chicago Bears fan base. They are a 1.5-point underdog at Soldier Field. The Bears offense in 2 first halves against the Packers this year produced all of 6 points. They had 6 points one time and 0 in the other game. They got to get up and moving in the first half in this game. Look, defensively, the Bears thrive on turnovers. They led the NFL in creating turnovers. They're getting tons of interceptions, getting fumbles. The defense seemed to come up with them most weeks. Jordan Love only threw 6 picks this year and only threw 1 in 8 quarters against Chicago. See if they can turn him over in this game. I think it's going to be high scoring. I saw a great stat on this in one of the preview pieces I was reading. Both offensive lines have been awesome in pass rush win rate, and both pass rushes have been terrible, especially Green Bay without Micah Parsons. So these quarterbacks should have some time. They're very good. I think the offensive minds are very good. I think this is going to go up and down at Soldier Field. I think the Packers are going to win the game, but we'll see. Sunday at noon, big one in the AFC. The Bills are the 6th seed. They are at Jacksonville, the 3 seed. Another home dog. The first 3 games you'll see this weekend in the NFL feature home dogs. Jags catching a 1.5. Sean McDermott, as the head coach of the Bills, 0-5 on the road in the playoffs. 0-5. Now, Josh Allen is probably going to have to do this largely on his own. Jacksonville has led the NFL in run defense all year. They did not allow a 100-yard rusher all season. So they can try to get it to James Cook and try to get him going. I don't think Jacksonville is going to allow that. But if you're going to have a quarterback go make plays, Josh Allen might be that guy. I like the Jaguars to win that game at home. That'll be disappointing for the Bills. If you had told the Bills in August, Burrow's not in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson not in the playoffs, Mahomes not in the playoffs, they'd have said, bring it on. I think Jacksonville gets them down there in Florida in this weekend. And then you got the night game, NBC, 7 o'clock. Chargers at the Patriots, the 7 seed against the 2 seed. Pats are 3.5-point choice here. Justin Herbert should be as healthy as he has been. That fractured broken hand, they've had a week off. He should be okay. The Patriots' weakness is run defense. They don't stop the run as well as some of the other aspects of their team. The Chargers' offensive line is a practice squad at this point. They have nothing left up front. Since Week 10, the Chargers rank in the bottom 3 in the NFL in yards per play, success rate on the ground, explosive plays, and points per drive. Their offense can't move because they can't block. Now, I don't know if the Patriots are equipped to destroy them up front, but I just don't think that the Chargers can control the game the way that Jim Harbaugh wants to because their offensive line won't allow them. Drake May is really good. He is second in the NFL in air yards per attempt. Like, they're not babying him at all in his second year. They're going down the field. They're letting it rip. He's been awesome. I would lay the 3.5 here with the Patriots. I feel like they are like they may get after the Chargers, who just don't have a punch on the offensive side of the football. So that's my look at the NFL slate this weekend. I'm excited about it, Jordan. This is good stuff here.
I think it's beyond good, man. Like this is exactly what you're looking for when you think of playoff football.
Oh, I missed a game.
Oh, no.
It was at the bottom.
I
missed 49ers Eagles. I looked back through the notes and I just missed a game.
That's why I cut the music off, bro. I was like, hold on.
My biggest note on 49ers Eagles, just to not get too long-winded after I felt like I was already over with the segment. Mike Shanahan offense, Vic Fangio defense, like that's the show coming up on Sunday at 3:30 on Fox. So I like 49ers in that game.
Hey, this game, that's my game of the week. Well, I guess you could say the game of the weekend is that game specifically because I feel like
4.5 is a big number.
It is, and I feel like the winner of that game, that's going to be like the domino that is going to turn the NFC.
Those two rosters are way good.
Yeah,
and
it's good on good.
It is.
But I'll tell you this though, because you're very big into Chicago and what's going on in Chicago. And I was talking to Taylor earlier, and he really believes that the Packers are going to go in there and knock the Bears out. And you said that would be detrimental to the people of Chicago.
I mean, y'all can't understand. Like they despise the Packers.
As they should. They should.
And I talk about this all the time. It's like a broken record. If you listen to the show routinely, you know exactly what I'm about to say. But like they've gone Favre, Rodgers, Love, while the Bears have been in hell from quarterback perspective for 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. And like that grates on you. If you're a 35-year-old male in Chicago and you're a diehard Bears fan, all you have known your entire life is awful Bears quarterbacks and Hall of Fame Packers quarterbacks. Like, I'm not putting Jordan Love in the Hall of Fame right now, but they've had really good quarterbacks. They've had 2 that are going in the Hall of Fame immediately. So it's just been miserable. And like, they would be bummed if they got the 2 seed and lost to the Buccaneers or the Rams. Like, that would bum them out.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Packers on the lakefront in Soldier, just destitute. Like, they won't be able to get over it.
I mean, and the Packers look terrible right now. Like, they're on fumes. The whole team is injured. So that loss will be, like you said, like that would be debilitating.
But it just feels like, knowing what we know, that the Packers will probably go in there and win because the Packers own the Bears. And it drives them nuts because Chicago is this huge American hub.
Yeah.
And Green Bay is the size of this desk. And Green Bay just destroys them every year. And it just drives them nuts. And the Packer fans come down and they just. I feel the same way when the Cubs lose to the Brewers. It grinds my gears. We got all this money. We're Chicago. We're Wrigley Field, and this podunk organization from Milwaukee just kicks our teeth in every year. And it's the same thing in this sport. It's a real deal. That's a show. I think for me, if you gave me one ticket for the NFL this weekend, I think my one ticket's got to be 49ers Eagles in Philly. But Packers Bears in Chicago is a close second.
Man.
I would like to take a game in at the Link.
Man,
I got the itch from last week when I went to the Sugar Bowl. Because when was the last time I went to a big game that that LSU wasn't playing in? Like I don't, or the Saints. Like I just haven't been a completely impartial observer in such a long time. Like I got the itch to like do that again, and I would like to go. I would like to go watch a game in Philly and watch those degenerates
just
hammer Yinglings and just scream. That's what I'd like to see.
And you don't got nothing to do with it. They just screaming at you to scream at you. And that's a term of endearment. But if I had one ticket, man, this is going to sound crazy. But just because I seen how that environment was with the Ravens game, give me that Steelers game, Monday night, cold. It's not Acrisure. Yeah, Acrisure Stadium. I mean,
Heinz Field.
Yeah, Heinz Field, whatever.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Wherever they was in Batman where it got blown up.
Yep.
I mean, that environment looked on 10, and I just would like to see if C.J. Stroud, we know what the Texans bring, but if Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin can find a way to actually get a W, I'm going to be there, Monday Night Football.
My group chat's buzzing a little about Aaron Rodgers' wife.
Who's his wife?
There's a percolating story. Nobody knows.
I don't know. That's why
people are digging up on podcasts. Her name's Brittany with an I, apparently, but no one's ever seen her. There's no pictures of her. She didn't go to the Wives and Girlfriends event that the Steelers put on. Like, it's a developing story.
It's Canadian girl.
My interest level in it is 0.0%, but it's a developing story apparently. All right, we got to talk about what LSU's going to do at quarterback now. So we'll do that to finish off the hour when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Let me tell you about Marucci first. You know about Marucci. You should know about Marucci. It's a gem here in Baton Rouge. Go take a tour. Why would I take a tour? Well, it's an incredible story, and it's become a national brand out of a backyard shed in Baton Rouge. 22 years ago, like, all right, we're going to go make some bats. Made a bat. Now they make $1,200 a day, and it's the official bat of Major League Baseball. That's a pretty cool story. You can go see it. Go take a tour. Go online, MarucciSports.com, click on Campus Tours. You got a class? Take them. Got a team? Baseball season's around the corner. Softball season's around the corner. Take them. Got a family? Just want to go by yourself. Go see the facility over there at Marucci. It is world class, and it is a gem here in Baton Rouge. They make 1,200 bats every single day. You want to use one of them? Jump in the cage? You can do that as well. Marucci's the official mat of Major League Baseball, and they're right here in Baton Rouge. Go book a tour, MarucciSports.com/campus-tour. It's all there, MarucciSports.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Got great sauces over there at Cork's. The Cork sauce is fantastic. Got a little bit of a kick to it. That is my favorite. They got the classics too, tartar sauce, cocktail sauce, but their breading is just awesome on that delicious crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp. Got your honey butter rolls as well, crawfish etouffee. They put that over the top of those famous baked potatoes. It's good stuff over there at Cork's. If you hadn't been by, go see them on Government between Foster and Jefferson or online at corksfishandshrimp.com. All right, quarterback's a big deal, obviously, for LSU. They got to find one. And it seemed like a really, really bad thing last night when the news of Damon Williams broke that he was going to stay at Washington. And I understand why that sounds awful. And it's less than ideal because I think he would have been a complete game changer at LSU. So this morning when I got to my desk, I was like, okay, what's out there? What's possible? And there are some names. It doesn't appear to me that LSU is going to pull in a potential first-team All-American quarterback here. That doesn't seem likely to me. But there are some names that have some real positives attached to them. You look at the unproven former 5-stars. You got two of those. Deuce Knight, who was at Auburn, and Huson Longstreet, who was at USC. Both guys were 5-stars in last year's class, didn't play very much as true freshmen, and are looking somewhere else. The sincere thought is that Deuce Knight, who is from Mississippi, will go to Ole Miss now that Trinidad Chambliss is moving on because he's not going to get that waiver. Not bad enough tonsils, apparently. So I think Deuce Knight's probably going to go to Ole Miss. Will LSU talk to him? Yeah, but that's the likelihood. Longstreet has been tied to Oregon after he decided to transfer from USC. But I think LSU will give him a look. So that's one option here, the former 5-stars. Then you've got some older players. You've got Dylan Raiola from Nebraska, who's got some talent. Runs around, call him Mini Mahomes, throws weird arm slots. Yeah, he's looking around. You've got Bo Pribula, who did a nice job at Missouri this year. He was okay. And then you've got, obviously, Sam Levitt, who we've been talking about for a week and a half. And it doesn't feel like Levitt's going to circle back to LSU. I can't get the mental image out of my mind of him being at the basketball game when the news broke from Seattle about Williams that he was going to enter the transfer portal and everybody tied it to LSU. And then he planned that trip to Tennessee spur of the moment. It felt messy. And I just don't know if that's going to be healed. He's at Miami now that the Hurricanes are back in Miami, and he'll get a look at that. It just doesn't feel likely. Raiola and Pribula, who knows? We'll see. And then you've got the small school transfer in. It's worked for Diego Pavia, worked for Trinidad Chambliss. It can work. Doesn't have to. Like Cam Ward started an Incarnate Word. But you've got Landon Clark from Elon, who, unlike Deuce Knight and Longstreet, has played a lot. He just isn't one of the former 5-stars from the big name school. But I just rattled off 6 names there. Longstreet, Knight, Raiola, Pribula, Levitt, Clark. And LSU's got a big war chest to deploy here. So they're going to get interest from just about everybody. The problem for LSU is that 2 of the schools that you're competing with, they got deep pockets. You got Oregon, Phil Knight, Nike. You got Miami. They've been unloading money by the truck, and they're not going to stop now. It's working. So 2 of the teams that are still very much in the portal looking for quarterbacks, not to mention Ole Miss, if you want to talk about Deuce Knight, and if there's a situation where Deuce Knight were to say, like, if I'm Deuce Knight's agent, I'm saying, hey, Ole Miss, great season. Love what you did with Trinidad Chambliss. And my client is from Mississippi. That's interesting. But LSU is on the other line. So let's talk. You can get Ole Miss to spend $20 million on a quarterback if they think the other option is that Lane Kiffin's going to get him in Baton Rouge. That's what I would do if I was Deuce Knight's agent. But you do have options. And, I trust Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss to put together an offense that makes things, easy's the wrong word, doable for a quarterback. As long as the guy has reasonable physical attributes and a reasonable mind, I think that LSU will be a functioning offense. Kiffin's just done it for too long for me to think, well, he's got to have a first-round pick in Jackson Dart to figure this out. No. So if Bo Pribula came to LSU, it's not as exciting as if Damon Williams came. But, like, I think he could run Lane Kiffin's offense. I think Dylan Raiola could run Lane Kiffin's offense. I certainly think Sam Levitt could run Lane Kiffin's offense. The problem is he can't practice. But you've got options. I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about Longstreet from USC, the 5-star. I know that he was the number 4 quarterback, according to On3 in the 2025 class. I don't know much beyond that. And I don't know. I'm not going to just immediately take Elon's quarterback, Landon Clark, and go, look, Trinidad Chandlis, Landon Clark, same thing. Boom, you got it. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's way too lazy. That Trinidad Chandlis story is one they should probably make a movie about, which they almost had to if they'd have won that game last night. But you got options. LSU just needs to find one. And if you need to go to junior college, like we talked about yesterday, to go get a backup, that's okay. Like, it's a wild deal, this quarterback portal situation. And LSU's got money and they've got some options. I wish Devon Williams was coming. That guy can really play. And if they get Sam Levitt, I'll be thrilled. But I think there are still some options. And this is not like the defense under Kiffin where you think the bottom could fall out. I don't think the bottom's falling out of LSU's offense with the skill position players that they've got, and with Kiffin and Weiss and that brain trust. They got to get some guys up front, which we're going to talk about in 5 minutes, and then they need to make sure that they've got someone with some physical ability at quarterback. And I just think they may not lead the country in total offense. In fact, I'm confident they won't. But I think they'll be functional enough to play complementary football with that defense to win games. Maybe that's ambitious. Maybe it's Pollyanna. Maybe it is. But that's the way I feel. They just got to make one of these things happen. And I trust that they'll do it at some point over the course of the next week. We'll see. That's it for hour number 1 here on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. If you missed any of it, Hunt on LSU, where you can find that conversation, the conversation with Preston Guy. And you can find the Hunt Palmer Show wherever you find your sound, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever your sound is, just search the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll pause for Sports Center national headlines. LSU's making portal ads, especially on offense. We're going to talk about that, plus some hoops when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. Love telling you about Lifetime Roofing because as of January 1st, you're talking about a lifetime workmanship warranty. Who does that? Well, Lifetime Roofing does. Lifetime workmanship warranty. If you're planning on being in that house for a long time and you think it might be time to get a new roof, well, let the folks at Lifetime Roofing go look. They're not just going to say, hey, we'll put a new roof on it, because that gets them a paycheck. They're going to go up there and give you an honest word. If it's fine, it's fine. If it just needs a tune-up to fortify it, they'll do the tune-up. Just needs a little repair, they'll do that. If you need a new roof, they can help you with that as well. And I know that can be a scary thing for some people because roofs can be expensive. They've got financing options, 0% for 18 months. Even if you've got a deductible that's healthy, they can help you finance that as well. They care about the community. They're from the community, and they want to help you. It's Lifetime Roofing. Go check them out online at lifetimeroofingla.com. That's lifetimeroofingla.com.